I have got stuff moving so fast that I have to start filming now or I'm going to start losing my thoughts. So I didn't even plan on making a video. This is just so bizarre because I'm sitting here watching true crime like I do every day of my life, and a case comes up about gunpowder residue, and I'm literally writing down notes about gunpowder, like a quote I wrote down: gunpowder residue is like dust. It stays on the clothes but flies off the skin. So I'm thinking this is like putting thoughts in my own case, my mom's case, and I'm thinking, okay, what was the status? Because in the case file, it has the status. Remember, if you guys are following along with me, my mom was shot and killed, and when they bagged her hands, there was gunpowder residue found on her left hand, but none on her right. My mom is right-handed, okay? Now, they're saying that she did this, and that the police are telling me, i.e., you remember, again, if you're following around, Sergeant Dominguez, quoted via the Redhawk News, is saying the family is over-focused on the fact that she was right-handed and that she could have only done this with her right hand. Okay, that's bothered me. For weeks now, that's bothered me. So I'm watching this thing on gunpowder residue, which has got me thinking about, you know, the gunpowder residue on her hands. I want to know what about on his hands. Nothing in the case file about his hands, which is a question I'm dying to know. And this, like, I'm over here doing research on how long gunpowder residue stays on your hands and on your clothes, right? Because they have 4 pieces of clothing that they recovered from Russell when he was wearing when the police got there. Leave that one alone. So I want to know if there's gunpowder residue found on those clothing. If not, why? Because gunpowder residue for the revolver that was used to kill my mother is a Ruger Redhawk, and it's a .44 Magnum revolver. So I don't really know much about guns, so I'm over here researching gunpowder residue, which actually gets into researching the actual gun. Should have done this a long time ago. Now, for anybody that knows anything about guns, which I'm completely ignorant, I discovered today that a Ruger Redhawk is a popular heavy-framed double-action revolver. It's, you know, commonly referred to as a dirty, hairy gun. Okay. The Redhawk is popular as a bear defense gun among hunters and trappers. The Redhawk holds 6 rounds of ammunition. So it's one of the old, you know, cylinder kind of guns, okay? The .44 Magnum is the size of the bullet, which the .44 Magnum, via Clint Eastwood, this is a direct quote, is the most powerful handgun cartridge in the world. It's a dual-action handgun rifle cartridge. That means the bullet can go into a handgun and a rifle, correct? Yeah, it means it's a big bullet. It can kill game up to elk size. Now, an average male Rocky Mountain elk is 500 pounds. They can get up to 800 pounds. That is the size of the bullet, or that is the pack of the punch, that the bullet that was in the gun that killed my mom. Also, the .44 Magnum delivers a large, heavy bullet with a high velocity for a handgun. It provides so much recoil and muzzle blast that it generally considered unstable as a police weapon. Rapid fire is difficult and strenuous on users' hands, especially for shooters of smaller builds or with smaller hands. So what I discovered is that this is a great big bullet, which is going to do a great big boom as the gun, is what I'm gathering. And the gun, let's go back to the Redhawk, which is, you know, this is a big bullet in this big gun, which one I found on the weight of this gun was 42 ounces. That's 2.8 pounds. Another I found is the weight on it was 3.062. So we're going to average it out. I put about 3 pounds is the weight of the gun. So the gun is 3 pounds. So my stapler right here is like not even a pound. Okay? And still pretty heavy in my left hand. Remember, I'm right-handed too, just like my mom. So I need to find something comparable to 3 pounds around my house. What's 3 pounds around your house, guys? I don't know. Something hand-sewn, because I got to reenact this. because remember, my mom is right-handed, and per the story via Russell, there's two rounds were spent via the evidence log. It was fully loaded with 4 loaded cartridges. Evidence 19 lists 4 loaded cartridges in the gun, and 17 and 18 are the first gunshot that missed my mom when he tried to get her on the couch, and the second gunshot is the one where he got a hold of her when she was getting into the bedroom, and that's when the struggle ensued and he got the gun under her chin. Okay, so that accounts for the 6 guns and the 6 bullets in this gun. That is a 3-pound gun, so it's shot twice, right? You following along with me? There's 2 bullets, even on the evidence list, that have been shot out of this gun. So that means that somebody had to have shot that gun at least once before the bullet that shot my mom and killed her, right? Well, according to Russell, that was my mom every time. Every time his story says that my mom grabbed the gun first. Okay, so that means she shot that first round, following along with me, with her left hand across the living room to try to shoot him. His story. A 3-pound gun that she's not familiar with. Ask any witness that knows her, not familiar with guns, but she's going to take this gun. I'm too held up on the right hand theory, says Sergeant Dominguez, but she's going to take this gun in this heated moment and try to shoot her lover with her non-dominant hand with this heavy 3-pound object. Okay? So that's what he says happened, because there's no gunpowder residue present on her right hand. Okay, so we got to account for that first gunshot, the first bullet, because Russell said it was in her hands. I say that's bullshit. That's bullshit, because what I just read about this gun is they don't even let police handle that. They don't even like that rounded bullet because it's so unstable, and the gun alone is 3 pounds, and the bullet creates so much recoil that anybody of smaller build or with smaller hands, it's difficult and strenuous for rapid fire. My mom was 138 pounds at the time of autopsy. So on July 9th, 1993, she was 138 pounds. And you're going to tell me that she took a 3-pound weapon that she's not familiar with and put it in her non-dominant hand to try to shoot her boyfriend to account for that first bullet, gunshot. You can't, because it didn't happen, because she never did. Because he got the gun. He grabbed the gun. He got the gun. He got the gun, and he tried to shoot her. And that first bullet missed. And she ran to the bedroom. And a struggle did ensue. I have no doubt. She was trying to save her life. But she never actually had her fingers on that gun. Ever. Maybe. No. There's powder residue present on her open palm and in the webbing of her left hand. She was like, so it went off. Probably because she fucking had her hand up, trying to get the gun away from her as it went off. Big gun. Anyway, I just had that huge epiphany, and I had to point out the fact that Dominguez here told me that the family is over-focused on the fact that she was right-handed and that she could have done this with her right hand. Dominguez says Dominguez said one has to take the theory that Waslishin could have used her dominant hand to shoot herself with a grain of salt. He used himself to shoot himself. He used himself as an example to shoot herself. Oh no, he used himself as an example being right hand dominant, but over half of what he does in everyday life is with his left hand. Wow, Sergeant Dominguez. So if you were in like, you know, like a life or death situation and you, I don't know, you wanted to hurt somebody, kill somebody, you would use, let's see, your non-dominant hand. So it's such a strenuous situation. Let's use your not dominant hand in such a life and death, moment to moment, action-packed, gotta use my fucking instincts situation. I'm not going to use my non-dominant hand. Take it with a grain of salt. I think you're a terrible investigator. Sergeant Dominguez, if you literally just told me that a 138-pound woman shot a fucking 3-pound gun with a recoil like that of a .44 Magnum, I know nothing about guns. Shame on you. You know about guns. You people know about guns. You know about how big this gun was. You know about the cartridge that was inside. You know about the fact that she did not do this with her left hand. She was trying to save her life. Let's just reenact the scene the way it actually happened. But what, in most cases, you know, but in everyday life, what he uses, you know, he uses his left hand, though. I want to see what happens in a life or death situation with Sergeant Dominguez and what he does with his fucking left hand. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my left hand, Sergeant Dominguez. And then he says, in homicides, the gun is not normally pressed up against the victim. Yeah. Well, you know what? This wasn't planned right there. The first gunshot missed her. He did his little statement, because that's remained consistent. It was, Russell, I'm going to shoot you. His story is exactly how it went down. People, just flip it. Flip it. He has to account for, he eventually had to account for everything. So the story is how it went down. But he grabbed the gun. He got out of the closet. He stood in the hallway and announced, Stacy, I'm going to kill you. He knows that she was going to leave. She didn't leave with his kid. That wasn't going to happen. Bam, first gunshot. Because he could have come up behind her. He just wanted to shoot her too. He could have. He could have come up behind her and shot her in the back of the head. But he had to be the big guy. He had to let her know. I'm doing this to you. You're going to fucking die. You're leaving. You're not leaving. You're not leaving me. I'm going to kill you before you fucking leave me with my kid. So he announced that. I have no doubt that there was a little, talk. And he had to, he pulled out the gun. I know it. Right there in the hallway. Put him in a little room and ask him. First gunshot went. Bam. Missed her. She gets up. I know exactly the floor plan of that house. She ran around through the kitchen, around the fireplace. By then, he's already behind her. By then, he catches up with her. By the time she gets to the master bedroom, the struggle ensues. Breaks the necklace, flips her around, gets the gun right. It happened so fast. I don't doubt that it happened really fast. The point is, he might have been drunk. It might have been a crime of passion. It might have happened really, really fast. But he lied. She never grabbed the gun. He did. She never shot that gun. She tried to save her life. Definitely, we got some manslaughter going here. He could have probably already served his time and gotten out too, which is the ironic thing because it's been 28 years now. He probably could have served his time and gotten out. But no, he did a lie about it. And the police have done nothing about it. And it takes the daughter to have many breakdowns. You know how this has stopped my life? I haven't worked in 3 months. I haven't left the house. I haven't driven. I canceled my car insurance. I have become agoraphobic. I can't do anything until this is solved. And the more I get into it, the more mad I'm getting. I'm getting so mad because this did not have to be this way. This did not have to be this way. It's so blatantly obvious what happened, and I just want, now I'm after the bigger fish. It's not just Russell anymore. Who did this? Who let this get covered up this bad? And I'm after the new inspectors, the new detectives too. You Mr. I'm holding too much on my right hand. The family's holding Mr. I want to talk to you in a little room, sir. You tell me that to my face. How I'm putting too much on my mom being right-handed in this kind of situation. Mr. Grain of Salt. I do a lot of shit with my left hand. I'll tell you what I do with my boyfriend with my left hand. I'm right-handed. Bro, don't even go there. And then the new one, Leon, who won't even talk to me. You people have got a lot of explaining to do. You people have got a lot of explaining. The people back then, the people now. Why? Why? My mother did not do this with her left hand. You're trying to throw down my throat that she shot off a bullet if that gun, if her left hand, never touched her left hand, never touched her right hand. She is right hand dominant. You are trying to wrap a scenario of a 138-pound woman in the heat of it, even if it was her, if you're trying to say in your scenario, that she was so upset that she grabbed the gun with her left hand to try to kill her boyfriend. Again, in split-second decisions, do you really not use your non-dominant hand when you're handling a gun? I mean, come on. If we're talking about, you know, me using the stapler, sure, yeah, half the things I do, Sergeant Dominguez, yes. I'm right-handed, but sometimes I do use my stapler to staple paper, sure. But if I'm going to kill Dustin one day, you damn well know I'm going to grab the gun with my right hand because I'm fucking right-handed. I'm not going to do, by the way, disclaimer, I don't want a gun, don't like guns. Although I would like to be proficient in guns one day. Just because I've always been scared of them because of this. I'm scared of people that don't proper gun safety and gun safety laws. I've been an advocate way into Second Amendment, but it's gun safety. Let's not get political. I'm shaking because that thing popped up and I'm like, I swear to God, she like gives me hints to like, girl, look fucking deeper, fucking poke harder. And I'm like, Mom, I know, I'm sorry. There's so many inconsistencies and it's just like I'm on overload and I've got such bad nightmares. The PTSD is out of control. The nightmares are so bad. The flashbacks are unreal. I haven't even been able to write because I was getting so sick. I was getting physically ill thinking about. And I haven't been able to write. And I've just like been at a standstill. I've just been waiting. We've been waiting for the Sedona PD to get back to the first journalist. So right now I'm sitting here just trying to decompress on this weekend. And I'm watching some true crime. And I'm fucking putting these fucking pieces together about this gun and the pack that this gun punched. So you fucking sit down with me with a straight face and you tell me with a straight face, Sergeant Dominguez, I'm putting too much weight on the right hand, her dominant hand. You bet your ass I am, because she was right-handed and this didn't happen the way that Russell said it happened. It didn't happen. You have no evidence to prove that that happened because it didn't happen that way. She was struggling for her life, not trying to take anybody's. She's the victim here. Everybody seems to forget that. Quit fucking victim blaming and do your goddamn jobs.